Good evening, everyone. I, Deepa Mishra, Ehsaas Women of Lucknow, welcome you all to the Right Circle, an initiative by the Prabha Khaitan Foundation. Today's event is presented in association with the BP Halwasiya Foundation, with Taj Mahal Lucknow as our hospitality partner and Dainik Jagran as our media partner. And we are grateful for the support of the Ehsaas Women of Lucknow. Before we unfurl this event, allow me to talk briefly about the Prabha Khaitan Foundation. As many of you know, Prabha Khaitan Foundation is a Kolkata-based NGO committed to socio-cultural, welfare, and humanitarian causes. The foundation actively promotes performing arts, literature, education, culture, gender equality, and women's empowerment. Late Dr. Prabha Khaitan was an eminent Indian literator, philanthropist, social worker, entrepreneur, and feminist who established the foundation. The foundation's multifaceted initiatives include the Right Circle, Kalam, Akhar, and Authors Afternoon, Loves, among others. We are elated to share that 3-time Grammy Award winner Ricky Cage has curated a number of remarkable musical pieces for the video invites of our events, the foundation's social media platforms, and communications across India and overseas. The music of the month for July is A Prayer for Hope, a soul-stirring composition that echoes our collective longing for peace, hope, and resilience. To raise awareness within the community, we spotlight a pressing social issue each month. For July, a cause of the month commemorates World Nature Conservation Day, observed annually on 28th July. Now, I am honored to extend my sincerest privilege in introducing and welcoming our esteemed guest, Mr. Vishwas Patil, an acclaimed Marathi writer and a distinguished officer of the Indian Administrative Service. He has written iconic novels like Ranangan, Chandramukhi, Pangira, Zadazadi, Panipat, and Sambhaji. He received the Nath Madhav Award and the Bharatiya Bhasha Parishad Award for Panipat, the Priyadarshini National Award, the Vikhe Patil Award, and the Sahitya Academy Award for Zada Zarti, and the Gadkari Award for Mahanayak. In conversation with him, we have Dr. A.P. Maheswari, a 1984 batch IPS officer and former DG of CRPF, with vast experience in internal security, conflict zones, and communal harmony. A PhD holder and doctorate with multiple national honors. He has authored 14 books and is actively involved in social cause post-retirement. I welcome Mr. Patil and Dr. A.P. Maheswari to please come. And I request Dr. Maheswari to initiate the conversation. Thank you.
I welcome you all and thank you for being here with us. I'm quite sure we have all the learned people here, the beautiful people. And we have Mr. Patil with us. And he wrote over 9 books. And one of his book, Panipat, before I start with the present book, which is supposed to be under discussion today evening, over the life of Shivaji. He wrote Panipat. Am I correct,
Yes.
sir? And it has got more than 38 awards or maybe more flowing. And he had a great revenue earning from that book, which has been using for various purposes. Before we go ahead, can I request you, sir, to speak something about the Panipat, what is great about it and how it has been taken largely by your readers in northern India?
Panipat, one of my important historical novel. It was published at the age of my 28, Panipat, and I earned a very good name all over Maharashtra, in India also. Later on, it was noticed by P.V. Narasimha Rao. He was not that time Prime Minister, but he was President of Bharatiya Gyanpith, and he brought it into Hindi. That's why it became very popular in Hindi belt also. I got good awards also, and good name, good recognition. But many times, many places, there is a one question which is being asked me, ki when Panipat word came into your life. So I was learning in 5th standard, and मैं स्कूल छोड़ के मेरे ननिहाल गया था. 4 दिन आई वॉज नॉट इन स्कूल. तो चौथे दिन में मास्टर जी ने मुझे बराबर नोटिस किया और बोले, विश्वास उठिए, बता दीजिए पानीपत के 3 जंग कब और कब हुए. मुझे कुछ मालूम नहीं था, मैं टोटली अनपढ़ था उसके इस सब्जेक्ट के बारे में. लेकिन एक बात अच्छी थी, हमारे मास्टर जी हमें बताया करते थे कि बच्चों अगर आंसर गलत भी हो डट से देना चाहिए. और वो डट से देने का था, तो मैंने थोड़ी होशियारी दिखाई और बोला कि सर प्लीज़ आस्क मी द क्वेश्चन अगेन. उन्होंने बताया कि पानीपत के 3 जंग कब और कब हुए. मैं बोला सर इतना ही, पानीपत के 3 जंग कब हुए? पहला होने के बाद दूसरा हो गया, दूसरा होने के बाद तीसरा हो गया. और तभी मेरे हाथ पे जो डंडा मिला, इन ओल्ड वर्स इन मराठी एंड अदर प्लेसेस ऑल्सो एक गाना था, छड़ी वाजे छम छम विद्या यही गम गम. सो दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट मुलाकात विथ पानीपत. But by the grace of God and especially the big grace of Ma Saraswati, more than 3 lakh copies are sold out of this book Panipat.
थैंक यू सो मच. आपने बहुत अच्छा मंत्र बताया. हम लोग सब थप्पड़ से और डंडे से खा के ही बड़े हुए हैं. And the today's generation requires lots of counseling. I don't know for what, we are not familiar with that. So अच्छा है, the foundation has been well laid. But now coming to Shivaji. Now think of the era when Aurangzeb in the north and the Adil Shahi Sultanate in the south, in the Deccan. And he is a brave person who is steering through the strongholds of both the paths. And so much so that even today when we think of Shivaji, our heart swells with immense pride. That was the Shivaji's character. We all have hurt. So I'll come to you, sir, with this. Do you think there's something particular about the art of war which Shivaji adopted, which including the spy network which he had, and I've gone through your book, and all the battles one after the other, we find that his art of fighting war, earlier Mughals called him that he's a rat of the mountains and he's not a lion of the open field. This is out there, the allegation on him. But then the way he operated, everybody was scared. And so much so that he will bring the enemy to a choking point where they will surrender, leave all the inventories and valuables, and they will go. These type of episodes. So would you like to now let the learned audience know more about it? Thank you so much.
Firstly, I should tell you one important thing about Raja Shivaji, that his deeds, his contribution is like a Himalaya. But unfortunately, he got very small life. He died at the age of 49. But still he has created such big things. And we utter the name of his enemy, big enemy, is Aurangzeb. And perhaps you must not be knowing that Aurangzeb was having his empire from Kabul, Kandahar to Bangla to today's Brahmadesh, Myanmar. And the Mughal army, calculating on all posts, Mughal army was more than 10 lakh soldiers. And Shivaji's army never crossed 1 lakh soldiers any time. Still, he fought against Aurangzeb. We will go towards strategy. But one important thing we should understand, that Shivaji was a person most virtuous, of very good character, outstanding character, and he gave clarion call of Desh and Dharma and our soil. So his approach was to fight against all odds and against Gulamgiri. So that was his mantra. Therefore, he became very successful. And जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं छापामारी युद्ध, that is guerrilla warfare.
Guerrilla warfare.
Guerrilla warfare was accepted by Shivaji. The lesson of guerrilla warfare was given by his own father, Shahaji Raje, in Battle of Bhatawdi. Shahaji Raje was a maker of Shivaji, and he had given mantra, even that royal seal with Sanskrit words also was given by Shahaji Raje. Shahaji Raje himself was a great Sanskrit Pandit, and you might have watched the film Sambhaji, the son of Shivaji. He was also a Sanskrit scholar. So we should consider and we should underscore that Shivaji accepted this strategy of guerrilla warfare. In this book, I have written one anecdote, not anecdote, but it is a real fact. It is presented by dates also. The Battle of Umbar Khind, that is Umbar Pass. Today, if you will visit Maharashtra, it is just very closer, this Umbar Pass, to Lonavala. Near Lonavala, today also, you will have to cross, you will have to climb down for 5-6 hours. And it is like a big well. But importance of that battle is that. And I consider Shivaji was a great boy of nature. Prakruti Putra. That's why he used Mother Nature for his strategies and for his wars against the enemies. This battle in Umbar Khind Pass, one big captain, namely Kartalab Khan, and another one lady, Rai Bagan, both were sent by Aurangzeb against Shivaji to burn down all his ships in the coastal area of Maharashtra. But when they were crossing from that Umbar Khind, Umbar Pass, they reached at the middle point and they heard roaring all around in jungle, Jai Bhavani, Shivaji Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Bhavani, Har Har Mahadev. Means Har Har Mahadev, the meaning of Har Har Mahadev is it is a praise of Shankar. Shankar, the goddess, the god, was a family god of Shivaji. So when they heard this Kartalab Khan and Rai Bagan, that roaring, big roars all around in the jungle, they got tremble. And they were choked down in between, they were restrained to cross that Khind, and they were frightened. Kartalab Khan was carrying 25,000 soldiers along with him, around 40 elephants, around 3,000 horses through that jungle, and 25 foot soldiers. And by listening the clarion call, the drums and band, they come to the conclusion that Shivaji's army must be more than 2 lakh. And they were restrained in the jungle, and they were without water. There was a problem of serving, so they surrendered. And at the time of surrendering, Shivaji caused him to leave all their swords, except cloth. They should run away, and they ran away. And Shivaji won that battle. And you will surprise that 25,000 people ran away without battle, leaving all armaments, and Shivaji's army was only 1,200 people.
I absolutely agree with you, sir. It is not the
The
numbers.
toll 100 people created such a creation.
So it was not the numbers, it was the tactics, the deception, the
tactics.
deception he created and the fear he generated in the mind of the enemy that spoke. And one point you have brought in about Shivaji's administration is the governance, the art of governance. And sir, if you permit from your own book, I might say there was a, he was so much particular about the things when he had no resources for the war. He had no resources to run the kingdom. At that time, his own generals, advisors suggested to him that you put more taxes. He said no. And the word he uttered was, कि governance, running public governance is different than looting the public. That was his concept and he refused to. And it is what led to, attack at other places, and I will come to it later, then how he collected his resources. But he was so much attached to the people that one milk women came to our help, and I think he will bring it out. And similarly, there was another gentleman which I come in your book is Tanaji. The Tanaji is an important contribution.
Yeah.
So would you like to elaborate on Tanaji's role, number one, and number two, the people like the milk women of Maveli, I believe the character's name, that lady's name, and she was 80-year-old, and it was that lady. And when he was surrounded in his own fort for 133 days, this lady comes because she was aware, the human terrain, if I use the word human terrain and the geographical terrain, he was a master of both. And that is how this lady comes and tells her, I know the way, will you rely on me? And he had full faith on that lady, and I would like you to, dwell on that.
You might have saw the film Tanaji. He was a captain of Shivaji. The beauty of Shivaji is that Shivaji Raja collected all the people from very common people, from fishermen, from dhobi, and very ordinary people. And he was a very good eye to select a person, to collect a person. He was having some extra gift of his eye, जिसको बोलते हैं ना अच्छी दृष्टि वाला आदमी. So when he was passing in one village, Mahad, in Konkan area, late at night, one Bharat process, one Bharat was going, and Bharatis were dancing, and we have very famous dance, that is Lezim dance. You might have watched on TV. Lezim dance is a street dance, and it is very famous in rural area. So he located one boy, 6 feet high, and he was a, what should I say, chapalta. Unki chapalta, and he was a great sword fighter, जिसको पट्टा डांस बोलते, दांड पट्टा. And he was playing in such a big way, such a nicely and such fastly. Shivaji called that person, and he asked, what is your name? Then he explained his background and all that. So Shivaji Raja told him that after 2 days, I will be at Rajgarh Fort near Pune. Please come and meet me. I will make a Shiledar to you. Shiledar is a small captain. But I have guarantee that in a year, you will be captain of my army. And that boy went there after 4 days, met Shivaji. Shivaji selected him. He made him Shiledar, captain. He became big captain in a year. And in Maratha history, he made his name as a Tanaji Malusre. That was the gift of Shivaji. Now, this another seeds. क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी को सीड्स में? नहीं seeds. That he was घेरा डाल दिया था. Fort को घेरा डाल दिया था. He was in Panala Fort, and that time more than 35,000 Adil Shahi people from Vijapur, soldiers, they surrounded that big fort. And in rainy season also, they constructed more than 20,000 huts and they were going to wait up to Dasera, but they were not allowing to Shivaji to climb down, and their goal was to capture the Shivaji. That time, that milk woman, very old milk woman, she was carrying milk to the place of Shivaji, and she showed Shivaji the places en route, how he should travel. I think that date was the 12th of July. Every year we now follow the path of Shivaji, and Shivaji crossed 60 kilometers jungle route in 20 hours only. And even today also, the same road is like that, and you can't walk on your own foot, and it was not possible to go on horseback also. So that route was carved out by Shivaji. But important thing is that though he was injured in a way in that place, and though the common people, milk woman like people, they were supporting him, the treachery was made by his two captains, and he was located next morning only. Before that, in a meeting, he told that I have chosen such a path, such a way, that my enemy will not be able to locate my direction up in 4-5 days also. I will fly like a bird in the sky, and I will be not noticeable. But enemy comes tomorrow at the time of sunrise, then I am sure that one of you have become a treacher. And that way it happened.
Interesting episode. I'll come to that. Why I was mentioning about this lady, Mr. Nadeem, who has translated his book. The type of emotionality he has put in the whole episode when he's describing this incident. And think of a, brave person, a king, and a common woman comes in the life, and this was a very difficult time. He was just thinking. He spent 133 days thinking how to get out of the situation, and a common woman from unknown place comes, because she knows the area, she knows the human terrain, she knows the geographical terrain, how they come to the help, and very very well written episode it is.
She was carrying the letters hidden in palms of teakwood tree. The palm of teakwood tree was wrapped around that milk woman's pot, and through she was carrying the letters.
Yeah. Now, one thing in contrast to this, the Shivaji gets a very good compliment from the mother of Ali Adil Shah. And the exact I have written, she says, "You hanker after prostitutes, whereas Shiva performs the feats of valor." So this shows the contrast of how the Mughal Empire, their generals, most of them were doing, and why despite numbers they lost. And this was another man who was a great man of character and the courage. But that is correct, sir. You spoke of treachery and allurement that has been the part of the power politics of that time. And if I recall, in India we also say at times during, drawing room conversations that India lost to the foreign invaders without fighting a war, because there were people who could be won over by other means. The treachery, allurements, this and this was very heavy when he was fighting the war against Deccan Sultanate.
A treachery thread comes up to the Pelgam.
Yeah, well said, well said. So I was just saying, but despite that, this Shivaji had an eye to recognize the right person. And when there was a discussion going on, sir, I just recall from your book, and a very beautiful sentence he uses, and he advises one of his generals, well, no, like a gardener, focus on the fragrance of the flower. Forget about the seed, forget about the type of, creeper it is. Like a being, and then he knew which flower is going to bloom, what will be the fragrance, and what he should do. So this is the art of governance. And you have rightly put it, sir. I was just, I thought that I'll mention it from your book. And it is well collated. In fact, he has done 10 years of research. And that makes his book different from other books on Shivaji, because he has greatly gone into the details. And then he has, and think of it, I believe so, maybe you like to say, the dialect of those days, even I come from Rajasthan, and if I read letters of my ancestors, the dialect, the language entirely different. He grasped the sense out of that. And then, so do you think, sir, you had any problem in deciphering those old letters in the research? And when that is one aspect. And
No,
another thing, how Shivaji wins this game of treachery. And he also indulges at times in the same games. He beats the enemy in his own game, so he also has to indulge into this. But there's a huge ethics. He stops one of his generals to kill another enemy. He says, no, his ancestors were good to us, spare him. So he has an ethics in the war also. Would you like to say something on this aspect of Shivaji's character? This was Daboji, he stopped Daboji too. That was
Rustume Jama. One important thing is that wherever I go, or there is a common question that what was the religion of Shivaji and what was the religion of Sambhaji? We should admit that Shivaji and Sambhaji, they took birth as a Hindus. All the pujas and other vidhis were being performed in their palaces, in their houses, and at common places also. Even Raja Vishek, coronation of Shivaji, the great coronation, it was also performed with Vedic, and one Gaga Bhatta from Ganges was called there on Raigad. And Shivaji followed Hindu Dharma, Sambhaji followed Hindu Dharma. They were very good with Hindu Dharma. But as a writer, what I feel, and history has proved, that when Shivaji and Sambhaji died, they died for Manav Dharma. They were carrying, even many big Muslim soldiers and captains were also working under the umbrella of Shivaji. That is a very important point. What is another question?
No, I spoke about the treachery, the allurements which happened. And he also, this was being done by the Mughal Sultanate as well as the Adil Shahi Sultanate people, generals from that. And he had to beat the enemy in their own game. So any incident on which you can narrate would like to from your book, the treachery which was committed on him, and he later on even spared the people.
Treachery, it was a common game during those days, and even people having very short knowledge, they say that Shivaji's father was serving under Muslims at Vijapur and all that. But they are not aware what happened actually. On 14th of June 1661, near Burhanpur, the wife of Shah Jahan, Mumtaz Mahal, died. And she was facing labor pains at the 14th time, 1/4 time, and she died into that. So this Shah Jahan took her dead body, and he went near Jamuna, and he started construction of big Taj Mahal. And he has taken oath that this work we will have to carry for 20 years. 20,000 people will work for 20 years. And until the finishing of this Taj Mahal, I will not leave Agra. It was oath that was taken by Shah Jahan.
But I think you have mentioned in your book that Aurangzeb was not appreciative at all of
not
Shah Jahan,
appreciative.
and rather he think ill of Shah Jahan.
No, my point is that, sir, my point is that he broke his own oath, and he came in Maharashtra to fight against the father of Shivaji, that is Shahaji. And he fought against father of Shivaji for 9 months. Of course, Maratha army was small, and Shivaji's father had to surrender. But it is a saying of the Shah Jahan that this is a kind of a Maratha. If he stands in front of a hill or a mountain, that mountain starts trembling. That mountain starts walking. So I will have to banish this man where there is no hill, no mountain, and that's why he was banished to Vijapur. And he was in the service of Vijapur. So you were telling me that about Rustam-e-Jama. So that time one Ranadullah Khan, he was a friend of Shahji, and he helped Shahji in Vijapur very much. So when afterwards, this Rustam-e-Jama was about to die in the battle, last point, Shivaji went to his help and he cried, no, he is not enemy. Though he is a fighting for enemy, he is my brother. That was Shivaji.
But this is the dichotomy which is coming because Shivaji's father, he was a general under Bijapur Sultanate. And this father and son meet after 22 years. He is serving here and Shivaji is trying to have the Hindvi Swaraj. He is trying for the Hindvi Swaraj, so he is working separately. But he lost it to Bijapur Sultanate. He is working under that. They meet after 22 years, I believe. 22 years. Yeah. And now the father and son, see the spaces they provide. He is coming on 45 days, sort of a payroll or leave or whatever. And Ali Adil Shah tells him that you go to your son. He will be the ruler, but he will rule under the banner of Adil Shahi Sultanate. That is what he said. The flag and the banner will be of the Adil Shahi. And with this proposal, you go. He goes. Now, he has got a onus to perform because he's under that Sultanate. He lost to them. But he meets the son as a father. And his, I think, what you mentioned in the book, his conversation between father and son is on a different axis. His son, meeting his wife after so many years. So he meets the wife also because he is there, then the family is here, everybody, and he 45 days. And so there are, you might see per se, there might be a conflict of values, the conflict of emotionality or interest, but there's a space for everything. This is the beautiful thing which he has brought out in the book after due research and brought out in a translation also. Something you would like to say about this relationship?
My point is that we should tally the time. In time of Shivaji or Aurangzeb, there was no email. There was no bullet train, fastest train, or private jets for the leaders. Today's leaders used their own private jets and all that. For sending a letter from Agra to Maharashtra to Pune, the fastest way, that is runner on the horseback, he will reach after 14 days, day and night in Pune. So I am shocked while telling the diary of Raja Shivaji. What a mountainous work he has done. As a student of history, I was praising all through the great Napoleon Bonaparte. My teacher was telling me that Napoleon Bonaparte was not sleeping. He was sleeping on horseback. But when I did research, and I'll tell you that it was not my dream of writing novel on Shivaji. But at the young age, I found that while pondering about Shivaji, learning about Shivaji, I am feeling that I am living with some farishta. Some farishta, in the shadow of some farishta I am living. And Shivaji and Sambhaji has constructed or acquired more than 400 forts in Maharashtra. And I have climbed more than 260 forts. The forts like Raigad, the big fort, I climbed for 42 times. So it was my passion to live with Shivaji. And because of that only, I was able to tally his, what should I say, in today's language, his diary. I'll tell you, I should tell that prasang of the big battle of Kudal.
Quran, yeah.
Kudal. Kudal is a small place near Goa, on the border of Goa and Maharashtra. And on 25th of November, Shivaji fought big battle, great war. Means more than 35,000 army of Bijapur was there on one side, and Shivaji's army was only 5,000-6,000. But surprisingly, he was not getting why they have not started the war. They were waiting for somebody. And history shows that Shivaji not only sleeping on there or resting there, for whole day under sun, standing on the front, battle front. In the evening, he will perform his puja, and late at night, he will be again on horseback. And he will go 30 kilometers up to the Malvan, and he was planning for Sindhudurga fort, sheep fort. And history says, history proves that Shivaji won the great battle of Kudal on 5th of November, and he started the construction of Sindhudurga fort on 25th of November of the same month. That is after 20 days. Means what a type of gigantic works he must have been doing, and his command and his directions and all that.
You said he lived for 49 years. If you think that he had lived for more, the India would have had a different history. Do you think that?
I think if God would have been kind enough and she might have offered 10 or 20 years to Shivaji, then I am a bit sure that Maratha horses definitely may have danced on the bank of Thames in London.
But there's an
And important thing is that Shivaji, in today's language, Shivaji's Swarajya was not more than 5-6 districts. But he created such a kind of charisma that during those days, in all chronicles, Portuguese chronicles, London chronicles, the news of Shivaji was regularly being printed in London Gazette.
Yeah, you are right, because you find the mention when he went to the history, the Dutch people, the Portuguese, and even the Arabs. On the Konkan shore when they were doing trading, they tried to intervene into the internal politics, and that is how Shivaji defeated them and entered into various type of treaties. If you would like to elaborate on that also.
Now, should I tell that Kudals that how many Shivaji?
Yeah, that's right. You may.
Yeah. So, there was a question why Adil Shahi soldiers are not fighting and only waiting. That time, another one Maratha captain, Baji Ghorpade, he had started his journey from Vijapur, and he was carrying 8,000 soldiers along with him. And that Khawaz Khan of Vijapur was waiting for that. So jointly they will attack and kill Shivaji. And killing of Shivaji was the great dream of this Ghorpade. And Ghorpade was also Bhosle. He was a nearest relative of Shivaji. And one day Khawaz Khan, when he was praying to Allah, that time he got the news that Shivaji went in Karnataka. He killed Bajiraje Ghorpade in Dabhol, and he is coming back. Then he is surprised, shocked. He came out of tent and he saw that Shivaji is standing behind the brook. Then he started praying on the ground of Allah that Allah, how many Shivajis are there? मैंने सुना है कि रात को चोरी छुपे एक शिवाजी यहाँ से समुंदर के किनारे जाता है और दुर्ग निर्माण की बातें करता है. दूसरा शिवाजी मेरे सामने खड़ा है और अभी मैं सुन रहा हूँ कि 200 किलोमीटर के बाद 200 कोस के बाद पार एक शिवाजी ने बाजी राजे घोरपड़े और उसको उसके 8,000 लोगों को मरवा दिया. ये तीसरा शिवाजी कौन है? How many Shivajis are there in this land? He was praying to the God.
But related to this episode, I must bring to your notice that it was the mother of Shivaji.
So
She was
one,
so
one
observant.
sentence
Yeah,
only.
yeah, yeah.
He posed his own cousin brother in his dress on that battlefield as a Shivaji, and sneakily he had traveled 200 kilometers 2 days back to the Karnataka, and it was not known to these folks.
So interesting fact on this about this Baji Raje, it was Shivaji's mother. So the role of the women, the royal women at that time, they used to observe, absorb and give the right advice. And she wrote a letter and warned Shiva, okay, there was Baji Raje and he
Baji
might do
Raje.
this and all. So there's a, you come about the role of women in that era, even in the royal family. It was not, as you find in the other type of regimes that women were only used for a gratification of the lust. But in this domain you find it was based on religion, it was based on values, and women played a very good role even in the governance and advising. And I mean not only that lady of 80 years, but even the mother of Shivaji. Jijabai. Yeah.
Jijabai.
She had a I'm taking it from he addressed as Matoshri, so I'm using
Madhuri,
that.
yeah.
So I'm not using the real name. So that is also an important thing in this. And do you remember that being even serious, sometime even Shivaji laughed to his heart's content, any episode?
Yeah. In this episode only, when Khawaz Khan realizes that he is coming down from the hill, the real Shivaji, that time he took the garb of a fool, a joker, Khawaz Khan himself, and he started flying. So
It was
Netaji...
Bhishti, I think he dressed
As a
up.
Bhishti, as
Bhishti
a
water carrier.
is a lesser
water.
person, water carrier, the garb of one water carrier. His appearance was like clownish, the big commander, and he was running away. So Shivaji's captain noticed Netaji Palkar and he showed Raje, look, he is the main captain, Khawaz Khan. He has dressed as a beggar and he is running away. So Shivaji says, yes, if he is enjoying that role, let him enjoy.
But rather he says कि ये भिष्टी के level का है, इसको
हाँ,
भिष्टी
उसकी
के
level ही है.
ये है ही भिष्टी तो let him go. And he spared him to go. And in fact Shivajis we find, and what you were saying कि Raibagan and all, when they were defeated and they were going, they left all their valuables and inventories, they're going. The character of Shivaji, he provides them the animals they needed to traverse the journey. He says, no, okay, I have taken your animals and everything, but I provide. So that royal character in Shivaji was alive.
The Kapi Khan, one great historian, Kapi Khan, he has written the life of about the life of Aurangzeb, and it is available in good English for more than 300 and 400 pages. And he has praised Shivaji that every Muslim should learn lesson from Shivaji to how to treat our sisters and mothers. It is recorded by all of them. So I think more than armament, more than Barud, he was carrying a big character which was far bigger than this armament, than this Barud.
Rightly said. So with this, what will be your message to the young India of today? And if I may add it, if suppose Shivaji was here and what is all happening around, what message you would give or what type of situation you expect that should happen? What particular message to young India you would like to give? Having done the research, written about Shivaji, his character, something you would like to tell the young India right now?
I think Shivaji was, in today's language, he was a great son of Mother India. And he was beyond caste, creed, religion and language. And he was the the great worshipper of human values. And even you will find that though in Maratha army, the Maratha people were there, even Brahman, even some Brahman got the captainship. If he is valorous enough, he is having that strength, then he has Muropanta Peshwe. He was a Peshwe chief secretary, but at the same time he was a brave. So he had given him opportunity twice, thrice. And Moropant also proved that I am strong in battle also, and I am strong in Pujagar also. And this was because of Shivaji's greatness, everybody got opportunity to shine their life.
That's right. I just recall, Surat was known as Gold City, right?
Yeah.
And it was under Aurangzeb's whole
It
command.
was Aurangzeb.
And I remember when he goes there, and he needed some resources for the war as well as for the public governance. And I think he went to some rich man's family, and he was told that the rich man has passed away, and then he spares that family.
Spares,
something. Would you like to elaborate on that side of what
Well,
exactly happened in the Surat and how he got his, wealth collected from Surat?
Surat was a big port, international port at that. And it was a greatest wealthy city, and it was under the sister of Aurangzeb, Jahanara. All revenue was going to Jahanara. But sir cited important example there, that there was one big merchant, and he was a human therapist. बहुत दानशूर थे वो. He died. And when Shivaji was looting every house or every factory, some people approached him and they told Shivaji that this man died 6 months back. But ये धर्म का आदमी था, उन्होंने लोगों पे बहुत एहसान किया है, तो आप जरा देखिए. Then Shivaji put special army there and instructed everybody that nobody should touch one small thing also from that house. He was taken care until leaving that place. So, and important thing is that he was a great leader. He was a charismatic leader. जैसे एक ज़माने में सुभाष चंद्र बोस या भगत सिंह ने जैसे पूरे हिंदुस्तान को छा लिया था, वैसे ही इन मिडेवल इंडिया शिवाजी was a very powerful, and he was a point of a big inspiration. Now my third volume is coming, that is Asman Bharari. It is about the greatest escape from Agra. When Aurangzeb injured Shivaji for 3 months, and finally he was to kill Shivaji. दफा करने वाले थे, जमीन में गाड़ने वाले थे. The news got to Shivaji, and Shivaji fled away from Agra 2 days before. And I am taking the new investigation. I am coming with powerful evidence. First time I am telling to you that in that escape, he was helped by nobody but the elder sister of Aurangzeb, Jahanara.
That's right.
And some other people. So because of you, why this? Because Jahanara was such a good lady. She was the elder sister of Aurangzeb, and she was on the side of Dara, the Dara Shikoh, and she was dreaming for Dara. So Aurangzeb jailed her. She was jailed for 3 years for supporting Dara. Dara was killed, but she was so powerful. Again, उन्होंने बादशाही बेगम बनाया कि दिल्ली और आगरा के अगल बगल का सब बांधकाम निर्माण जो हुआ था, इंक्लूडिंग जामा मस्जिद, ये सब निर्माण उस लेडी का था, जहानारा का. तो शिवाजी when sneakily asks कि sister why are you helping me so out, तो उन्होंने बोला कि आपकी आंखें देखने के बाद मैं इम्प्रेस हो गई, ऐसी आंखें मैंने एक बार देखी थी जो मेरे बड़े ब्रदर की थी. अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस सैटन, ये शैतान जो सिंहासन पे बैठा है, उन्होंने मेरे एक ब्रदर को हजम किया है. आई वॉन्ट टू सेव माई अनदर ब्रदर, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम हेल्पिंग यू. So,
Good. Now, coming to the audience for the questions before that, from City of Gold, if you permit me, we come to the person of gold, because I can hear there's so many copies sold and so much popular, and he has one movie and one TV serial to his credit, which are coming. Chandramukhi is the movie, I believe, and one Nag Kesari and some TV serial. Nag Kesari is a TV serial which is coming up. Kesar, Nag Kesar, the TV serial. So it's very popular. So I want to ask you, sir, with so much of the money coming to you, not that I am an author and I'm envious of you, I'm not at all envious, not eyeing on your wealth, but what good use you want to put to what all, coming, and really Saraswati is there with you, and even the goddess Lakshmi is with you, I can believe. Listen, going through so much of your sales, and what are you going to do with that money? And what good use?
I wish to tell you one anecdote. Just some time before I told you that some lakh copies of Panipat were sold out. And in a year, I constructed one bungalow in a year on one book. It happened in first time in Marathi, and it is about me. And when the construction was going on, luckily I had been there, and I watched that one Nathpanthi sadhu, he was coming towards my house. And he smelled something, and he entered in my building. He was a 6 feet high black man, having very big eyes, jata and all that. And he asked me, "Bachcha, ये भवन किसका है?" मैं बोला, "बाबा, ये भवन मेरा है." तो उन्होंने फिर अलख निरंजन करके ऐसा बोला, और he put his palm on my head और बोले, "बेटा, आपको पता है आप कितने भाग्यशाली हो, ये भवन कितना भाग्यशाली है." मैं बोला, "बाबा, क्या हुआ?" वो बोले, "अरे एक दिन आप मुझे ढूंढते रहोगे, आपको मालूम पड़ेगा." मैं बोला, "बाबा बताइए क्या?" वो बोले, "बेटा, ये भवन इतना भाग्यशाली है, दिन ऐसे आएंगे कि एक दिन में ये भवन में खाली लाखों और करोड़ों की गिनत होगी, उससे नीचे नहीं होगी."
I think I was not wrong.
और आपको पता है, कभी कभी ज्ञानी पुरुष, त्यागी पुरुष, आउटस्टैंडिंग जो भगवान जैसे पुरुष होते हैं, उनकी जुबान सच निकलती है. और बाबा जी की भी जुबान सच निकली है. आज भी मेरे भवन में खाली लाखों और करोड़ की गिनत होती है, क्योंकि मैंने मेरा भवन एक बैंक को किराए पे लगाया है. तो मेरा कहना क्या है कि मेरे भवन की लक्ष्मी भले गांव की होंगी, लेकिन माता सरस्वती ने उनके भग्न भवन में मुझे थोड़ी सी प्लेस दी है, और वहाँ मैं उनकी पूजा करता रहता हूँ.
Now, anybody willing to go to his house and benefit or ask him any questions, please.
Sir, that was a very enlightening experience to hear you, and I'm really itching to read the book, because I am a historian and I have written 9 books, but I have not got any money for it.
Oh.
So like Mr. Maheswari, I feel a bit lost about that. But anyway, jokes apart, sir, I would like to know where you did your research from. Was it the Maharashtra archives, या कोई आपने और कहाँ से रिसर्च करी, या एक काइंड ऑफ ओरल रिसर्च थी जहाँ आपने लोगों को इंटरव्यू किया, कैसे आपने
नहीं, आई डू रिसर्च माई सेल्फ. आई डोंट बिलीव ऑन असिस्टेंट. College carries big material. Deccan College, then Maharashtra that archives, Mumbai, then Bombay University mainly, in Fort, Bombay University, then old Rajaram College of Kolhapur, one library from Belgaum, and Itihas Sanshodhak Mandal, Pune. So there are many sources, no doubt. But luckily, our luck is that in British period, nearly all district collectors were historians.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have done very good work on Maratha history.
जी सर, और उनके बड़े ओरिजिनल डॉक्यूमेंट्स भी हैं.
Yeah.
Their orders, their letters.
Yeah.
जी जी.
Yeah.
That was very nice.
Yeah.
But lately in Bombay and Mumbai and other places in Maharashtra, there was this very big, not lately, about 20 years back की बात कर रहे हैं, 20 years back, कि there was a lot of resentment of Shivaji. People, the so-called liberals, they felt that Shivaji was a marauder. They called him a marauder. And they said that he ruined the entire fabric of the country. And I had a big argument, of course, with this lady called Teesta Setalwad. So I had a big argument with her.
Oh, I see.
And in a seminar. But this is the way there was this attitude. So how is it today, sir, as far as Shivaji is concerned?
As for Shivaji, I should confess that youngsters, more than 8,000 to 9,000 students, young students, they visit regularly all big forts, small forts. I will notice them, I will meet them after 2 years on this fort or that fort. And they are not earning anything for mental satisfaction. They feel that Shivaji is a great king and we should worship this man. But politicians are in a hurry to use Shivaji and Sambhaji for only votes, nothing else. Their knowledge is very poor about Shivaji.
And sir, my library has Panipat.
Yeah.
Yes, several copies.
Yeah, thank you.
हेलो, मैं आर.वी. वर्मा. मैं वैसे तो मैथ का स्टूडेंट रहा, लेकिन आईएएस के चक्कर में मैंने हिस्ट्री का पढ़ा था, तो नहीं हो पाया. स्टिल आई एम बैंकर. तो मेरा एक क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैंने एक जगह पढ़ा था कि वियतनाम के जो प्रेसिडेंट ने बोला कि शिवाजी का ऐसी क्या मतलब फ़िलॉसफी थी, ऐसी क्या स्ट्रेटजी थी वार में कि उन्होंने उसको अपनाया. और उन्होंने कहा कि मैं 15 साल अमेरिका से, और अमेरिका को बैक होना पड़ा, आपको सबको पता होगा कि करीब 15-17 ईयर वार रहा. और उन्होंने कहा कि मैं शिवाजी के उस प्रिंसिपल को अपनाया. तो ऐसा क्या था शिवाजी में, मैं उस क्वालिटी को जानना चाहता हूँ आपसे.
नहीं, वही ही स्ट्रैटेजी,
मतलब उनको वो अभी भी उनका एक शिवाजी का वहाँ पे एक सिंबल वियतनाम में अगर आप जाएं तो उनका बना हुआ है, वो स्टैचू बनाया हुआ है.
Especially about Pratapgarh battle against Afzal Khan, there is special study. Means what should I say, for in great guerrilla wars in the world, they have chosen 7-8 examples. And in that guerrilla war, this Pratapgarh battle is one of it. So it is, I think, big study is always carried in London and in Japan also.
लेकिन कई बार ऐसा हुआ गुरिल्ला वार में, अगर हिस्ट्री शिवाजी का वो पढ़े तो कई बार उनको हार भी मिली, वो हमेशा नहीं हुआ.
हाँ.
लेकिन फिर भी वियतनाम ने उनकी इस प्रिंसिपल को क्यों अडॉप्ट किया? स्पेशली मैं ये केवल
वियतनाम की बात कर रहे हैं
जी.
या वियतनाम, यस. Vietnam being a very small country, and their enemy was again mountainous like Aurangzeb, that is America. And if they are going to wage war against such a big country, then whether it will be possible or not. So some young historians from Vietnam, they searched this revolutionary history of every country. And finally, they fixed their eyes on the life and strategy of Shivaji. And they realized that if we will accept, we'll go with the dictates of Shivaji, and if we will follow this guerrilla warfare, then only we will be successful. So thousands of war planes were bombarding that country, but that country never surrendered because of the tactics of Shivaji.
In fact, let me add to it.
30 years long war was fought by Vietnamese.
Let me add to that is the element of surprise, is the element of deception. And combined with this, when they say where the weapons are shot, then it should be compensated by intelligence. So the type of intelligence they had and the type of deceptions they could create and bring the enemy to a point of helplessness and then fight a war. And number two, fight the war on the atom resources of the enemy. Like Mughal armies and all, they will carry all rations and this and that, so many mules. They will live off the land, fight well and live on the atom arrangements of the enemy. In any war, the Air Marshal Saab is here, will agree with this. The best is to live off on the atom arrangements of the enemy. That's the best way. And this is what he did most of the time. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. If Shivaji was present today, what do you think he would be proud to see here? अगर आज वो होते तो आपको क्या लगता है कि वो उनको अच्छा लगता है इंडिया में देख के या पूरी दुनिया में? In your words, अगर आपने मतलब पढ़ाई है उनके बारे में, आप क्या सोचते? काशवी सर, काशवी.
I think we should consider as a human being, Shivaji was a great soul. Shivaji was a great soul, and definitely he had been here. वो अपने तरीके से ही जाते.
Yeah, no. Now today also, if you see India, we are surrounded by many countries. Okay, even our neighbors have turned against us. Some countries playing against us. Okay, known to everybody, and this is again a game of deceptions. The game, in fact, it is the era of proxy war which has shifted to the human terrain. The civic society tough. It is no more a geographical terrain war. It is more of a civic society, and more in the digitalized world today, where the cognitive controls. So Shivaji also took cognitive control of the masses through various ways, earning the trust, creating deceptions. Today again in the digital way, people are creating, radicalization through narratives they send and cognitive control of the mind. And more or less the same situations of deception and many things are happening. So what happened in that time, in that period? See, tactics remain the same. The environment may change. The way of responding may change. You may have, better technical aids to do, but the strategies will remain the same. Strategies will not change. So there's much to learn from the history, and they say if you don't learn from the history, then history repeats itself. Good.
We can take one more question.
Is that an order? It's an order. When she says something, where one means one, huh? Okay.
All I want to know is, आप इतने glowing terms में शिवाजी के बारे में बात किए हैं, तो I feel that आज अगर वो जिंदा होते और उनको PM बना दिया जाता, तो क्या होता?
I can't answer this question because you should consider one point, that how much powerful social media is. Some people should not carry out the miss message. So I am constrained to reply this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You enjoyed my small session, my few words, and I'm very happy to meet you. नए नए एरिया में जाने के बाद नए नए पाठक मिलते हैं एंड आई एम मैं बहुत एहसान मानता हूँ चंद जैसे राइटर को जिनके कारण हम कुछ लफ्ज लिखने के लिए आई लर्न समथिंग बिकॉज ऑफ द ग्रेट राइटर्स लाइक प्रेमचंद एंड ऑल दैट. This is one of my book, Great Kanchana Circus. This is published first in Hindi by Vani Prakashan. Again, this is a very important story that in 1941, when Rangoon was bombarded, that time there was a great exodus. More than 8 lakh people started walking towards India, and they crossed more than 2,000 kilometers on foot through jungles and all that. There was one circus trapped, and this Kanchana, how she carries her elephants and tigers through those jungles. This is the story based reality. And your great writer, Hindi writer, Mridula Garg, she has openly praised this book as a classic. If you find time, please go through this Hindi book, Great Kanchana Circus, or otherwise in 4 months it will appear in English also. This is very powerful, ladies-oriented subject. That's why I ventured out.
Thank you, audience. Thank you, gentlemen. On behalf of the Prabha Khaitan Foundation, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Vishwas Patil for gracing us with his presence and sharing such a captivating and enriching session. Our sincere thanks to Dr. A.P. Maheswari for the engaging conversation that illuminated Mr. Patil's inspiring journey. We thank our associate, B.P. Halwasiya Foundation, hospitality partner Taj Mahal Lucknow, and media partner Dainik Jagran. Prabha Khaitan Foundation aims to foster unity and appreciation of the rich culture heritage across India's diverse states. Highlighting the relevance of the same, today we are pleased to felicitate our distinguished guest with Kathputli string puppets from Western India. I would now like to call upon Mrs. Madhuri Halwasiya to felicitate Mr. Vishwas Patil and Dr. A.P. Maheswari.